Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Welcome to today's class. My name is Mr. Salami. By next time you'll be able to see my face. Yeah, you see me outside. You'll not beat me up. Uh, are we just four for the class? Are we just four? Hello? Are we just four open to class? Is Favor there? Can you hear me? Okay, so some people have network issues joining Navi. Oh yeah. So how do we overcome this network issue? Anyway, if you can hear me, good. If they can't hear me, they can go to the YouTube channels that we have created as live. They can also join from there. So if they are live on YouTube, they can also join. So do you think I should start continue should I start now or I should wait a bit? Or like how many minutes should I wait? And how many minutes should I wait? If you can hear me, just reply to the chat or meet yourself and talk. So I'll be waiting for 5 minutes before the class commencing proper. So while waiting, let me do myself a favor. Can we start now? Favor, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So can we start?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this course, this is my first time of taking the course. There are no, as I've said before, my name is Salami Tosi. I am taking this course for the first time. There are no label materials for me to use, though I've tried to gather more materials so that we can actually enjoy the course. I've taken the course before. This is not my first time I'm taking. This is not my doing my MSc. That's when I was introduced to database management proper. In my BSc, I was introduced to database management while we are being to computer operation in surveying, and it was for me it was interesting. So I want to welcome you all to SVY 510 database modeling. Database modeling will, would assist us to cover concepts. Though it's an introductory class per se. So being an introductory class, I hope you can see my screen. I hope you can see my screen. Favor. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can see your screen, sir.
So we'll be looking at database design phases. In database design phase, we have three major phases, which are the conceptual, the logical, and the physical. Under the conceptual database design, there are so many we are going to be looking at. We're going at the tessellation, vector, and object-oriented database designs. Logical phase design, definitely we're looking at data structure. That's just what we are after. Now, under data structure, there are type of data structure. We have the network, the hierarchic, the relational. Even for our own surveying purpose, we use what we call the geo database. If you are used to ArcGIS, ArcMap, ArcGIS Pro, QGIS, let us imagine Google Earth as well. Find that our data management system has always been referred to database. That's what we are used to. And your database, when you are creating a shapefile, you store a shapefile. In your shapefile, there's always an index for your coordinate system. I mean, your coordinate, they will ask you for your coordinate system. Imagine you are creating if you are creating what you call it, a shapefile in ArcGIS or QGIS, be asked to specify your coordinate system. So if you have to specify your coordinate system, then that definitely there's a colon or there's a archive where this information is being stored. So that it is to a database itself, meaning that for every shapefile, there's a database. Now, such database can actually be a geodatabase. Now, in geodatabase, we have two types of geodatabase, which are the file geodatabase and the personal geodatabase. Basically, we'll be going into that with one of the practical you'll be doing. Also, you'll be looking at, if you are also good in GIS, you have come across attribute tables. Yes or no? Hello, class. Hello, let's make this class interactive, please. If you can't say hello while you want to on your mic, you can also say hello through the chat. I will know that, yes. I'm not talking to myself alone. But if I want to talk to myself alone, no problem. Let me know so that I will know how to organize myself to talk to myself alone. But I want to make this class interactive as possible. So, as I was saying, are you conversant with the idea of attribute tables? The concept of attribute tables? Yes or no, please. Good. So, attribute table on their own is a database itself. In ArcGIS or QGIS or even ArcPro, though me, I'm using ArcPro, I can show you my ArcPro. So, working with attribute tables is a kind of database is also called relational database. So you also in this class you also learn more about attribute tables and how you can create your own attribute table for your own data structure. That being said, there's what they call structure query language. When it comes to data structure, there are, we have structured data and non structured data. Imagine you're asked to go and create a database of houses within or buildings within the university of University of Technology or your university, your campus. You have to go and create a database of your campus. Definitely, if you are going to do that, what you have to do is just structure your data, right? You know, oh, these are the building, type of building, name of building, the name of building, the type of the year of constructions, like your attribute table is you're forming an attribute table. That kind of structure is what they call a structured database. Now there's another structure that's not structured database. Like imagine, I'm so sure you guys have Twitter feeds. You have Twitter feeds. At least you have Twitter account, you have Instagram account, you have what you call it, whatever you call it, you have TikTok account, you have YouTube account. Now, in this social network sites, found that information coming are per seconds, and in each of these pictures, these videos, these texts, other information are also attached, like the time it was sent. On your thank God that you guys also use WhatsApp. On your WhatsApp, you can actually for every information that is sent or posted in the group, there's a timestamp, there's a ID that shows that it's come from this person, and you are now asked to what to actually create database of people that are sending messages, what they are sending, when they send it, from where they are sending it from. What kind of information does it contain? That kind of structure is an unstructured database. Just that yes, you have the information, but in each of these information, there are so many sub data that make up those kind of information. Are we together? So as a result, you may be asked, okay, how do you now extract out the information that you need? Oh, in your WhatsApp, in your feed, in your Twitter feed now, can you tell us when Mr. A sent A? Then you'll be asked to look for a system that will be able to extract out the information you need. So languages or languages or codes that are being used to extract information of a particular interest are called structure query languages. So SQL means structure query languages. Query languages can be used for data updating, data and data archiving. Imagine you are asked in your own, you will be asked to create a database and you'll be asked to actually extract out or what do you call it, or some information database. And in this course, we'll be doing this course is in two sections. The first section is the class I'll be holding with you. The second section, let me stop the share and share something else. Second section involve a self-paced study on online self-paced study. if you can see my screen, this is an online learning platform called learningx.org. X.org offer free courses online that you can do at your own leisure and better yourself in whatsoever you have been taught in the class. So this course has so many aspects of it. It's free to study. However, as I'll tell you, this course online course has 4 sessions. The completion of the course, which is post-survey, and each week, I'll be asking you. Each week, you will be asked to send in a snapshot because the certificate is actually paid for like $42, which is I don't want to share you or ask you to pay enough money for that. But as I was said, what will happen is for each part you have covered, at the end of each of the sub course module of sub sessions, you have to archive your your progress and send as a screenshot to your course rep. Your course rep will zip it and forward to me. So if you like, can even complete it within a day. If you like, can complete it weekly. But before the end of the course, you must have complete everything. It will be part of your curriculum or part of your what do you call it? Part of your assessment. So this course on its own is 20%. So if you do it well, you are not have to test you myself anyway, on whether you actually did it or not. So please go and register for the course online and start as fast as you can and get it done as fast as you can. I'm sure you guys know of this site before now. There are other courses online that you can do maybe after the end of your undergraduate studies that you want to do, and you have to have certificate online that can assist or boost your CVs. They are available for you, and that being said, that's the second section of the course. Now, we'll be using a software called ArcGIS Pro, not ArcGIS. So I want everybody to go and install ArcGIS Pro. I hope everybody has ArcGIS. I hope everybody class. Favor,
Sir.
do you have ArcGIS Pro on your system?
No, sir. We have a day.
So what you have to do is go and install ArcGIS Pro. At least there are crack versions online. So install ArcGIS Pro. Is the beauty of ArcGIS Pro is that it has some modules that are advancement than the desktop ArcGIS that you guys have, and it's kind of interesting because you work with live data. Is that taking? Hello, class. Hello.
Yes, sir. Speak fast.
Okay. So, and there's a course on that ArcGIS that you are going to do, which involve data. There's a course you have to do, which I have to send to you, and you have to submit. You have to submit that course. You zip it and submit your course module. I will send the link once you install it. That will be for next week. You will install. I want to see. I don't make sure that everybody go and install it on next week. Then I will send you the site where you will download all the training modules, and you have to submit to show that you have actually carried out the learning. Because within that learning, as you are learning how to use this ArcGIS Pro, there's an assignment on it where you will come across the geodata modeling aspects of what we or database creation. I should use that word. So where you will be asked to create a database for a particular site, you'll be asked to extract out some queries. Are we together? And you'll be also asked to create a story map. Are we together? Okay. So once again, welcome to this class. The exam is 60%. The CA is 40%. Within the CA, we have the online courses, which will carry 20%. We have the assignment for the online, for the ArcGIS lab, which carry 10%. Then we have quizzes and tests, which will carry 10%. This is a breakdown of your assessment. Should in case you have any question, let me know. I will send you the textbook that we're going to be using. There's a textbook on database that I have, which I used during my MSc. So I will send it and we can start from there. So once again, I want to welcome everybody to the class. I would love to introduce us to the database. But let me give okay, before I even forget, attendance is 60%. So if I'm going to make this class flexible because of the fact that there are some people that will complain of internet issues. Some people that will complain of no data issue. So our class is per week. When is the exam? Favor?
Timetable is not out yet, but exams are in December.
In December.
Yes, sir.
So even if that is not out, I think there's a calendar. You have a school calendar already. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So today's assignment is for you to go and install ArcGIS Pro. So I won't take no for an answer. Now we want to make sure that everything that we're going to do in this class is very easy. You get your mark every week. You get your mark every week so that at the end of the day, I won't have, because I have a backlog now to submit what I call it, to submit a result for the year 4. So I have to quickly complete that. So attendance is 60%. And favor, you are in charge of the attendance. Attendance is per week. If you fail to meet up the class, maybe yes, you have internet issues, you could not join the class online. Oh, beautiful. Accepted. You will not be punished. You have every class should be broadcast on YouTube. Every class should be seen online. So you have a chance to go to the online, to the what do you call it now? To the Zoom, to the online class, and while you are on YouTube, you comment your matric number that you have watched the class. Are we together? You have watched that's per week that you have watched the what transpire in the week on the course, so that if you are not in class, maybe due to some emergencies, at least within the week, you have acquainted yourself with what happened in the class. So on Saturday, favor, the work is on you, or the workload is on you. You have to compile the list of people that attend the class, their matric number and their name.
Okay, sir.
Is that taken? So
Yes, sir.
apart from apart from them dropping their name and matric number on the chat box, they can also do that on the for those that missed the class or feel to join the class online. They can also go to the WhatsApp or YouTube channel per week. If they join a week after, it won't be acceptable. So you have to actually shout out their matric number and names on this Zoom meeting and also on the comment section on YouTube channel. Then send to me per week. And your assignment will also be submitted per week. So both for the online class and both for the ArcGIS Pro training. If you have any question, please ask. Assignment, as I've said, 60% attendance. The attendance does not involve being the class alone, also involve your submission of assignment as when due. So I want to welcome everybody once again to this class. I would love to be fast with this class as possible because I'm also a PhD student. I'm also a student like you, which I have other things to actually get sorted. I also have assignment to submit as well. So should you have comments, suggestions, remarks, corrections, let me know on time. You even have the floor. So you have 5 minutes. If you have any question, I want to listen to you. And if you don't have, let me know so that we can move to the next aspect of the class. If we should let me why I'm waiting for you to talk. Let me quickly search for the materials that we were supposed to use. Because I have my textbook here. I don't know. I kept it somewhere and I have to go and look for it. So, favor, no question, right?
No
Hello?
question, sir.
From you, no question. How about others?
No question from anybody, sir.
No question from everybody. You're not gonna
Yes,
say
sir.
that. If that is okay, by
Right on, right on.
okay. So let me quickly get this material that I use for my I don't know where it's in this place. Okay. I hope everybody know how to use Access, Microsoft Access. Do you know how to use Microsoft Access, or at least you have a Microsoft Access? Do you know of Microsoft Access? Class. Hello, class. Seems that everybody is silent. Oh, so we actually
Not
making
everybody, sir, not everybody knows how
knows
to
how to
use
use
Microsoft
Microsoft
Office.
Access. Ah,
Yes, sir, not
so
everybody.
definitely we are having 3 sets now. We are having 3 sets. That means you're actually having 3 sections now. If or do you want to know how to use Microsoft Access, or if so, it can disappear? Do you want to know how to use Microsoft Access, or we should accept that you go and learn later? Because we are using the online class and we are going to be
So
working
we'll learn
on
it later.
you learn later. Okay, but no problem. So now we are going to be using 2 textbooks. One of the textbooks we'll be using is Access Database Design and Programming. We are not interested, as you have said, you want to go and learn how to use Access later. So, however, because of the fact that it includes the aspects, the textbook includes an aspect where we are interested in. That's the database design. As I've said, there are 3 stages in database design, which are the conceptual, the logical, and the what you call it, and the physical. So That being said, there are two textbooks we'll be using. One is this textbook on access database design and programming. In this one, I'm so sure they are what you call it. If you don't learn, if you don't even want to learn, if you don't even want to go and learn later, that's one cup of tea. In this, as long as you're going to be using this textbook, the assignment there. So the access design is by Stephen Roman. You can get it. I have the third edition, so let's use the third edition. So I will send the second one as well. There's another one on computer architecture that we'll also be using. So, but don't forget, don't bother yourself too much on it, because we are going to be exerting those aspects that concerns the course outline. So I'll send this material to you, this one to you, and this one's their test, they are what you call it, they are work examples, which you have to implement using your Microsoft Access. And there are some that you have to implement using your are we going to be implementing using your what you call it, using your um, using your ArcGIS Pro. So basically, go to introduction. Now, as I've mentioned before, I've told you what database is about. Database is just like a bin or a table, or it can be a kind of bookshelf. You have been to your library before. You have been to your department before, your departmental office. You have been to your departmental office before. You have been to your lecture office before. You have actually even been to your own school portal. These school portals cannot work without a database. There must be a database where all your information have been stored. So, database is basically something where you store a collection of related data. So, as I've said, just as you have said again, a definition is given here. Now, the database is basically a collection of related data. So, you can have a table, a bookshelf that contains, if you have been to a library, you will see a bookshelf that contains only surveying textbooks. That's the database for surveying textbooks. You have been to your tomato office where they have incoming mails, outgoing mails, a database to show incoming and outgoing mails. That's an example of database. You also been to your school portal where when you log in, you see places on your login profile, you see places where you have your personal information about data. You see courses, the place where they store all your courses. You see your school payment, where you store your school payments. That's an example of database. Now that you know what database is all about, just a question of data anyway, then definitely we are now bound to actually maintain these collections. How do you mention these collections? How do you mention that, oh, these collections are not just tampered with? Imagine someone comes to the library and took a book on surveying or geomatics shelf and go and keep it in accounting or economics or economics shelf. Do you think that what do you think will have happened? Someone has actually tampered with the database, so it will mess it up. And if it's mess it up, it will be a confusion. Imagine you have a bookshelf that contains and you label it surveying and geomatics material or mathematics table, meaning that everything on that table should be used for surveying. And you now went there, you're now seeing books on medical. You're seeing books on finance, you're seeing books on politics, you are seeing newspaper on the war in Ukraine, you are seeing newspaper on the war in Gaza. Then it will be, don't you think that there's a confusion? I want this car to be interactive. I don't want to talk myself. So maybe if one person can unmute and be talking and be telling me yes, he's getting what I'm saying, I will appreciate than for me to be talking to myself. I want to make this car interactive as possible. Don't you think that don't you think that it will be a confusion? Automatically, it will be a confusion. So definitely they will have we must get a system for management of this database. Such a system is called a database management system. Or simply, DBMS. Now, this BMS is designed for two things. Basically, as I've said, to add, delete, and update the data in the database. Now imagine there's a new book, there's a new textbook on surveying and geomatics in area of surveying or in area of surveying and geomatics by you tomorrow. Someone must have to add that book on the bookshelf that belongs to what? Surveying and geomatics in your library. That's why there must be a system that must do that. The system that is designed to add, delete, and update data in database. That's one. Two, there's another system on its own. That must provide ways to view the data in database. Adding and deleting and updating is one aspect. Now, viewing database is another aspect. Imagine you go to your portal under results, you're able to see your results. Beautiful. That means that there's a database that is provided for you only for what? Only for results. It's a collection of results. Database is a what? Collection of what? Collection of results. So that means that you must be able to view your results as a student. You must be able to view your scores as a student on a particular subject or particular course. Are we together? So if that's the case, then there must be a system that must be set apart for you to be able to only to view, because such a database is not meant for students to edit their own score. If I'm being given the liberty to view my course, edit, delete, and update my results, do you think I will get F? I will never get F because I have access to that database. So why? Well, why would I intentionally destroy my own life when I know that I can quickly inflate the score and get it out? Just at least you are conversant with what happened about 3 months, 6 months ago. The girl that inflated her score, a jam score. I went to this and enjoyed a jam score. If you have access to that jam score, you update your own now, isn't it? I know your answer will be yes, even though secretly you may want to say yes. I want to prove that you want to prove that you are a devoted student or
Sir,
devoted. I
some
can't
of us
hear
are
you.
really devoted. I said some of us are really devoted, though.
I
Yes, sir.
see. They said if you want to know a man, give him power. I
Yeah,
hope you know
that's true,
that.
sir.
So
Yes, sir. Yes,
until
sir.
you are given that liberty to change, edit, delete, and update your own score, then you will not know whether you are a child of God or a child of the devil, or you are just a child of circumstances. Whether you
Sir.
change, you change based on whatever you have. So anyway, moving further. So we are not. You cannot say that you have to separate these two purposes. There's a purpose to add, delete, and update a database. There's another purpose of what? Viewing a database. If you have a news outlet, like you design a web page for yourself or a blog for yourself where people can actually view your comments, your opinion, your papers, your works. You want them to tamper with your works, so you must have to create a space for them to only to view. So that's the purpose on its own. There must be a system that must be dedicated for viewing alone. And there must also be a system for you to what? To add, delete, update database as well. So you want to be able to separate these two goals. If not, there will be a confusion, and such a confusion will make database useless. So database system is designed to carry out two purposes: to update, delete, and update a data in the database. That's one, and what? To be able to create ways in viewing the content of the database. That's two. So once you're able to do, once a system is designed to do these two major things, then also the system is called a database management system. Your access is a system as such. In the beginning, in the olden days, where we have manual system, there's a system where human beings are the one in charge of those systems. Some people are given the liberty to be able to add, delete, and update the data in database, and some people were given the liberty to be able to only view. So with time, with the advent of computer, we were able to develop what we call a software a automated system where the system itself will be able to add, delete, and update database at the push of a button, and also to be able to create ways to view a database at a click of a button. So such softwares are your Oracle. If you have gone across Oracle, there's Oracle database. It's very robust, one of the greatest Oracle or the database in line. Also, we have the what you call it, the Access of this world, Microsoft Access, which is one of the oldest database system. And you can also create your own. You can also program your own using different softwares like Python, MATLAB, R Studio to create your own database system. So most of the time when you hear of database management system, they are basically softwares of these days. They are basically softwares designed to be able to carry out these two tasks. So now I'm sure that you now know what database means and what a DBMS actually means. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Good. So a sample of a database is a table that we have here. If you look at this table, a library sample database. In this database, we have column for the SBN, the International Standard Book Number. After title of the book, of the title of the book, the author ID, the author name, the author phone number, the publisher ID, publisher name, phone number, and price. Now, this is an example of a relational database or a tabular database. So, such as you see it, when we define a database as a collection of what? Related data. Data here all refer to a book or refer to items in a library. In a book, you will have a book has a name, it has a number, which is the ISBN. It has an author. Author can indicate his phone number on the book, if possible, and he can indicate the publisher name and even the price, if possible. So when you are creating a database for books, then you are including all this information. Then this is a simple database for a book. So now there are different types of database. The one that concerns us mostly is the relational database. The relational database is basically the one that involves use of tables. When you start using tables, then we are working with what we call relational database. Apart from relational database, we still have the network database. Apart from that, we still have the hierarchy database. But as I've said, we will start with what? The relational database. As well as the relational database is being used mostly in surveying world. It's not that network entity are not good. Even there are new ones now that have been designed. Have you guys heard of what big data? Have you guys heard about big data? Big data. You should have heard of big data. Favor, are you there? Favor, I can't hear Favor talking now.
Yes, I'm here.
So I said, have you heard of that? Have you heard of big data? Hello?
No, sir. We have not heard of it, sir.
Okay. Chris, you guys are doing remote sensing, Abi?
Yes, sir.
If you're not doing remote sensing, you are doing cartography, Abi? Now,
Yes, sir.
concept of big data means that imagine you want to study the earth as a surveyor, as a geodetist, you want to study the earth. There are so many parameters, so many data, so many data sets that you'll be using. You'll be using variety of data. Now, the question will now be, how do you manage this data? Because at the end of the day, you have to create this you have to create the database for each of these data features or data classes. Like for an engineer or human engineer now that wants to actually build a complete building or a skyscraper, you will need information about how you are going to design or architecture. You need a database of the architectural drawings. The architectural drawings on the interface, the topmost part, the side view, the left view, the ground view. You need a database for that. So you create a database for the architectural drawings or the architectural aspect of it. You also need a database for the land information. Maybe the size of the land you want to build on, the shape of the land, the topography, the topo sheet, the contours, the details of the land, even the materials in the land. That's the what you call that, subterranean of the land of the land you want to build on. If you need information, you even need information about the historical information about the land, what has been used before now. You even need information about the land use and land cover of the area that you want to build on. You even need information about the EIA, that is the Economic Impact Assessment Report of the skyscraper. So many buildings, you'll be needing so many informations. Now, when these information are more than a terabyte, it's not going to work on petabytes, then we are working in the realm of big data. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Good. Your satellites that are beaming information to the Earth in petabyte by second, they are not working with your small database. They are working with big data. Imagine having petabyte of data. Imagine you are asked to go and fly a drone and do the area mapping of your university. Do you think the data will be small? It will be large. Imagine you are asked to go and do a geography survey. So your will be in petabyte, if not gigabyte of data. So when we are asked to create a database for that, then you are working in the name of big data. But how do you now handle such a problem? You must be able to handle such a problem. If you can handle such a problem, if you can handle the smaller problems, biblically, for those of us that are Christians, we have been told that he that is honest in small will be honest will be able to handle something big. Yes or no? Yes or no? Hello. I need response to favor. I need response. I need to be. Yeah. I need to.
Yes, sir. Yes,
that.
sir.
So what we are saying is that if you can do small things, then definitely you can be assigned big thing. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, the small thing that we are now assigned to is your small library books database that you are asked to go and create a library book database. Oh, since you are asked to create a library book database, how do you handle it? There are so many types of databases, as I've said, but there's a particular one that we have that interests us, and which is the relational database design. The relational database design is so simple that it just uses what we call single tables. It uses what we call single table. And in single table, what you just need to do is to understand that every item or every entity or every item has attributes. And when different items has similar attributes, then you can create a database for those items with similar attributes. You can create a table for those items with similar attributes. Like I'm asked to create a class list or class database. Now, as a class, what do you think you have in common? You can tell me. What do you have in common? Favor, talk to me. As a class, what do you have in common as a class? Now, before I forget, questions will be asked in the class. People that respond can be motivated to respond better by giving them marks for correct responses, approximately responses, so that the class can be interesting. I don't want a class where I will be the one talking. I want a class where I will be getting responses so that it can be interactive. So once again, please bear in mind, if you are answering me, does not mean that you're answering me for free. You may be motivated and inspired to get marks as well. So, and your marks start counting for each of the classes. Now, let's go again. As I've said, as a class, what do you think, what do you all have in common? Favor, are you
Sir.
there? So as a class,
Yes,
what
sir.
do you all have in common
Sir.
as a class?
We have projects in common, sir.
Project.
Let's say we are all doing our projects right now.
Yeah, you're all doing your project now, but you're not in this, it's not everybody that's in this class right now. Yes, project is
Are
an
you
attribute. I'm talking about as a class. I'm not talking about as the whole class, as in this. No, as a class of this course. What do you have in common?
discuss?
This course, beautiful. What's your name? What's your matric?
Oluwaseun.
Actually, put your matric number. Put your matric number and add 2 marks for yourself.
Okay, sir.
And paste in the what do you call it, in the chat box. So favor, please, if you're submitting attendance, note that 2 marks that is given. So note that 2 marks for Oluwaseun. Now, as a class, you all have this course in common, meaning that you're all taking SVY 510. Now, as a result, because you all have this in common, that means we can create a database for this class. Because because we believe that as an entity, you all have, but we all have attributes, you all have properties. You may be a male, you may be a female, you may be offering many courses, you may be offering few courses, you may be offering a project, you may not be offering project, you may have same course lecturers, you may not have same course lecturers, but at least because we are creating a database for this class, you're all taking what SVY 510 class. So the database for this class alone is suffice to share that we are creating a database for what is SVY class. So now a table will suffice. That's why we call it a fat database. A single database does not require so much thing. So that's why we use a correlational database, because it's a table that relates that what do you call it? A table that contains properties of related objects or related data. You guys are all related by SVY 510. So definitely you can create a database for 510. And in just a table, you'll be having your names, your matric numbers, and the rest of the properties as the may deem fit. Your phone number is there and the rest. So why use a table? Why use a table? Why can't we not use a network? Why can't we not use an hierarchy? Because I know that not everybody is not everybody is in first class. Not everybody is quite in the same degree. Yes. Now, the reason why we use a table is one, for redundancy. Using a table or using a relational database is good because in relational database, we can avoid unnecessary repetition of data. Like if you have a table, we could know that, oh, instead of us having area where Mr. A and Mr. A also come to picture. Imagine we want to create a table for class of SVY 510 2022 2023 session. We must be careful that we don't have the same name coming up twice, so that we don't duplicate information. With a table, we can afford that. How do we avoid that? If we have a unique identifier, just like a matric number. No two students can have the same matric number, yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So definitely, there's a way we avoid repetition for that table. But if you are using hierarchy, you said, okay, we want to use hierarchy. People that are in first class, people that are in second class, people that are in lower class, people that are in pass. We want to separate them. You find that people that are in first class today maybe 10, tomorrow they may be 20. Then definitely that database will be will be having some repetitions, because tomorrow another person that's having that's in third class may move up to second class upper. And what happens to database? You have to be adding and data. So there will be so much redundancy. But for tables, once you have that table, whether you are first class and class, it's just for us to edit. We don't need to remove you. You don't need to move all your information from one table to another table. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Because we already have the table for you. That okay, these are the people taking SVY 510. So we don't care whether you are in first class or second class. What we know is that you are doing this course. So, and a property can now be created for you that okay, oh, the status of his standing, academic standing. That's it. So for that case, we use it for case of redundancy. That's why we go for a table. Now, another aspect is multiple value problem. Imagine books that have only names. They are given in, let's go to the class again. Imagine a student. Let's say we are still working on our attribute table for this class. We have some students that have mother, father, sister, brother, matric number, phone number, first phone number, second phone number, third phone number, first phone, second phone, third phone, fifth phone. So many properties for that student A. For that student B, this guy does not even have father again. Does not even have mother again. He's even self-sponsoring himself. You only have one phone. He doesn't even have brother. He doesn't even have sister. So how do we now manage people with multiple information and people with little information? A table has allowed us to do that very easy. How? Once we have a table, where in such a table, we have information for a particular book, and we don't have information for a particular book, we just leave those missing information as what? Missing information that can be filled up once the information are available. So with the table database, we can easily solve a problem of what? Multiple value problem. Can solve a multiple value problem. Now, updating anomaly. Just like update a table, very easy. Very easy. Once we have a table, once we have a list, we can quickly update it for any missing information. If there's any update, we can remove it. If there's any decision, we can easily delete it. So the problem of update anomalies is solved with a table or a relational database. Also, insertion array, just like in updating, want to insert new information with the table. You can quickly imagine that a student join us and say you want to join the class now. You have not been joined all this while. You can quickly insert his name there, and you must come out there because he has been he come in, because a table solves the problem of insertion anomaly. Unlike when we said, oh, we want to use all that kind of systems. Also, deletion with relational database, we can also easily delete data and delete information that we don't need. We can delete data easily, we can delete information easily. So problem of deletion is taken care of. Now, on that note, I'll be closing the class. So as I've said, mind you, does not mean that relational database does not have issues. Relational database also have issues. So it's not as if relational database is just perfect. No. For our case, where we have problem with deletion, updating, insertion, multi-value problem, and redundancy problems, relational database is good for us. because at our own level, those are the problems that we're coming across. Imagine you are creating a table that will just, you are creating a database that will just articulate or gather information on instinct, nothing, attitude of a particular feature on ground as a surveyor. You want to map out, or want to create database for buildings now. You just want the name of the building, the location of the building, the area of the building, the perimeter of the building, the size of the building, the latitude and longitude of the point location of the building, the coordinates of the building. This kind of table can be created easily, and no one table is created. Once you can easily use a detection database. And when we are using a database, what problem are going to be accountable? You don't want to duplicate a building twice. So with a table, you can knock off the idea of redundancy. Also, you want to be able to actually capture all information, all parts of a building as possible. Some buildings are painted, some buildings are not painted. Some buildings has owners, some buildings don't even have owners, some buildings are abandoned, some buildings are not abandoned. So you can easily use table for that. Also, the idea of updating and inserting and deleting can also be a problem. So the table can also help us to avoid such a problem, but does not mean that the table is perfect in its own realm. So on this note, I will be closing the class. As I've said, for today, I've been able to, for this class now, we have been able to actually avail ourselves on the database, on the course content, what we have been looking at. Apart from that, we have been able to define what the database all about, what the database is all about, and the concept of the relational database. And I've told you the cost breakdown: 60% for exam, 40% for CA, and CA is breaking down into sections where we have ArcGIS and online courses, and we have the assignment and quizzes and tests. So 60% for attendance. Per week, we'll be taking our attendance, and you have access to the online, to the YouTube streamed class. So should in case you have questions, you can indicate now before we close the class. Next class will be then proper into relational database. And while we are working on relational database, we will be moving down to entity relationship data model, where I will introduce you proper into the conceptual, logical, and physical implementation of database. And under relational database, there are so many things you need to know, and that will be for the class. Now, for the online course, which I will want you to, where is it going? Okay, I will want you to go down to the course in proper and start reading the video. There are introductory videos there. So by next class, you must have completed this introduction to databases. And you are submitting a snapshot that you have completed the class to your class survey. For if you are there, get the question right. You are naming each snapshot by the name and the matric number of the student that sent it, and you are zipping and you are forwarding to me. That's for the online course. Now for the ArcGIS Pro, you have to install. So once you have done that, you have to give a snapshot of your ArcGIS Pro that you have installed, zip it and forward to your class rep as well. Zip it and screenshot and send to your class rep to show that you have installed it. So once you have installed it, forward to your class rep. Your class rep will zip and forward to me. So on this note, I welcome you again to this class. As I've said, if you have suggestions, if you have remarks, if you have corrections, I kindly invite you to give your opinion. And in case you have nothing to add, nothing to remove, nothing to comment on, I will kindly ask you for permission to end the class. So, Favor,
Sir.
are we any questions so far? Any comments? Any suggestions?
None for me.
I hope the class is interesting to an extent. If not, let's know how to make it interesting better. Come against next class. I can't hear you.
It's good, sir. It's interesting, sir.
Okay. So, thank you, everyone. So see you next class. Please, I'll do my own part of the course. Kindly do your own part of the course as a student. Enjoy.